Welcome to the Explainer. So, you're looking to navigate the absolutely wild landscape of generative AI in 2025, right? Well, you are in the right place. We're going to lay out the ultimate roadmap today. Whether you're literally just stepping into this space for the very first time, or you're trying to lock down your foundation to pivot into a new career, this map's going to guide you right from the ground up. Let's get into it. But hey, first things first, we really need to separate the hype from reality here. I mean, we see these crazy headlines every single day, right? So we gotta ask, is this tech genuinely solving real-world economic problems, or is it, just a really clever parlor trick? Well, spoiler alert, the massive, rapid adoption we're seeing across major industries, that tells us it is profoundly practical. It's the real deal. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're gonna start by demystifying generative AI, then look at the 3 core technologies powering it. After that, we'll check out its real-world industry impact, understand foundation models, and finally, look at your future, choosing between the user and builder paths. Nice and simple.
All right, Section 1, Demystifying Generative AI.
So what actually is it? Look, generative AI isn't just recalling facts from some massive database. It's not a search engine. It's a whole category of techniques trained on just oceans of data: text, images, music, code, you name it. It actually learns the underlying structures and rules of whatever medium it's studying. So instead of just regurgitating what it's already seen, it generates entirely new original content. Think of it like this. It doesn't just fetch you a pre-baked cake from the store. It actually learns the chemistry of baking so it can invent a completely brand new recipe on the fly. Pretty cool, right?
Moving on to Section 2, 3 core technologies. Let's pop the hood. So what are the actual engines making all this artificial creativity possible? There are 3 core architectures you absolutely need to know. First up, transformers. These are the undisputed kings of natural language processing. If you've ever chatted with a GPT model, you've used a transformer. Next, we have GANs, or generative adversarial networks. This is literally pitting 2 neural networks against each other, a generator and a critic, to produce incredibly realistic media. They kind of fight it out until the result is perfect. And finally, diffusion models. These do something amazing. They gradually transform pure static noise into those stunning, high-quality images you see sweeping the internet right now.
Okay, Section 3, real-world industry impact. How is this stuff actually disrupting major sectors today? Well, the impact is literally everywhere. Take customer support. GenAI is stepping in as a super agent. It instantly analyzes the sentiment of a frustrated customer's email, flags it as urgent, and drafts a personalized solution in seconds. Or look at education. It's completely democratizing learning. Imagine having an on-demand 24/7 tutor that instantly adapts practice questions to exactly how a specific student learns best. That's a real game changer.
And it doesn't stop there. In creative fields, marketers are rapidly prototyping visual campaigns at a scale we've just never seen before. Meanwhile, on the technical side, developers are heavily leaning on AI companions like GitHub Copilot to write all that boring boilerplate code and automatically hunt down bugs. The big takeaway here, it's not replacing these workers. No way. It's actually giving them superpowers to dramatically speed up their day-to-day workflows.
Now, here is why this really matters to us. This isn't just about cool automation. It's a massive shift in world economics. Gen AI is driving incredible efficiency, for sure. But more importantly, it's spurring entirely new job categories out of thin air. We're seeing a massive surge in demand for prompt engineers, AI ethics managers, machine learning researchers. It's kind of the gold rush of our generation. Which brings us to Section 4, Understanding Foundation Models. This is the monumental shift in how we actually scale AI. Think of a foundation model literally like the concrete foundation of a massive skyscraper. In the past, you had to painstakingly build a single-use AI model from scratch every single time, which took insanely huge, specialized datasets. But now, we just use one incredibly versatile base model. You take that foundation and you adapt it to your specific task, whether that's writing code or summarizing medical records, just through fine-tuning or some really clever prompting. It is an absolutely massive, cost-effective shift. But, operating at this massive scale means the whole ecosystem shares a few very critical responsibilities to keep things from going off the rails. Teams have to actively track and address data biases to make sure the outputs stay accurate and fair. We've also got to lock down user privacy. And we really have to factor in the sheer physical realities of these systems. Actually, scratch that. It's not just a physical reality, it's an environmental one. Running these massive, high-performance computing clusters takes staggering amounts of electricity and water. So infrastructure efficiency, that is a top priority for everyone.
All right, final section, section 5, user versus builder paths. This is where you figure out where you fit in. Right now, the industry is basically splitting into two distinct camps. On one side, we have the users. They interact with foundation models through simple APIs. They let the platform hide all that crazy underlying complexity so they can focus purely on practical applications and outcomes. On the other side, we have the builders. These folks wrangle the extreme complexity. They curate the data sets, they select the architectures, and they manage the massive training infrastructure. Think of it like this. Users are the drivers steering a high-tech sports car, while builders are the mechanics actually designing that massive engine from scratch.
Because of this split, their daily toolkits look completely different. Users, they master prompt engineering, the literal science of clearly communicating with the AI. They rely heavily on RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation, to feed private documents into the AI so it doesn't just make things up. And they use RLHF, reinforcement learning from human feedback, to guide the model's behavior. Builders, on the other hand, are deep in the code. They're building pre-training pipelines, they're using quantization to shrink massive models down so they run efficiently, and they're designing complex frameworks for autonomous AI agents. Naturally, what keeps them awake at night contrasts sharply too. If you're on the user path, your daily headaches are figuring out if the model's output is actually accurate, stressing over your monthly API bills, and filtering out bad content. But if you're on the builder path, wow, you are tackling massive systemic hurdles. You're trying to ensure the quality of literally petabytes of training data. You're footing the insane bill for supercomputers, and you're monitoring the health of sprawling global networks in real time. So, as we look back at this incredible roadmap today, from understanding core architectures like transformers and GANs, to realizing the massive economic impact, and really grasping the true power of foundation models, I want to leave you with one very provocative question. As you step into this ecosystem to build your career in the Gen AI revolution, are you going to be a user or are you going to be a builder? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next one.